is AntiTube. In this video I'm going to be removing the shuttle of a Singer model 1591. On this machine and in the era it was made, they called it the shuttle. Nowadays we more commonly call it the hook. So I may be referring to it as both the shuttle when I name the parts or the hook when I talk about it. For the video I'm going to remove the slide plate here, and just to try and give you a better view, but I don't think that you'd have to remove it to do this work. But it's really very easy to remove. It reminds me of the slide plate on a Model 237, where there's kind of a bat wing spring underneath up here, held in place by a couple of screws. So if we lift up this front corner a little bit and get it above the bed and turn it, see how I twisted it a little? Then if I continue that, the spring on this side will pop out. See? It's very easy. I'll show you what I call the bat wing spring. That's my terminology for it, not Singer's. Okay, and when you go to put it back in, you just start one edge of the spring under the edge of the bed, that in there, and then you can twist the plate and get the other end under, and then it'll lock in place. Where it slides is a little bit recessed from the top of the bed, so it'll go in and out there. First time it might seem a little awkward to you, but you'll be able to do it just fine. I'm going to tilt this machine back. I hope get it up here a little and tilt it back on the hand wheel. Trying to get some good light on it before I finished the whole video. Then I remembered I didn't tell you this, so I'm making this and inserting it here. When you're going to start removing these parts, okay, you want your needle turned so it's all the way up, 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 up. And I know I've got the needle bar out on mine, but turn your hand wheel. In this case, I'm going to turn until my needle bar connecting link hinge stud is up at 12 o'clock. Okay. See it come over there to 1 o'clock. I'm going to put it at 12 o'clock because that is when it would pull the needle bar all the way up. So with the needle bar all the way up, we can begin to take the parts out. I think the rest of the video went pretty well. I hope here we see the shuttle parts, okay? And to start the removal, and why you'd want to remove this is the whole area in here and behind it can get lint build up. Lint and little thread pieces and dust and stuff. So you might want to do it once in a while for cleaning. Also you could do it if you were having some odd stitching and you wanted to take a close look at the point of the hook or the point of the shuttle to make sure you haven't had a needle strike and you find a burr on there or a scratch that you need to sand down a little bit. Okay, so this is the thumb screw for it, and when we start with that, and I know this has been off because all these screws have scratches, and this is pretty tight, so let me find something here, and I'll just, rather than use a screwdriver, I'm just going to protect the thumb screw a little bit and loosen it like that, maybe. Still hard. Yeah, wow, they really had that tight. Okay, so now if you want to take pictures of this as you go, so you don't need to refer to my video constantly, when you go to put it back, that's usually where you run into trouble. So, you know, it's just a typical Singer big heavy-duty thumb screw. And then this part here is called the shuttle race back spring. Okay, and that is, if we look at it here, you can see it's kind of curved. It's a little springy, but man, it's very stiff. It's very high quality steel. I love the metal and the steel on this, just amazing. But it has these little tabs with folded over edges to go onto the shuttle race back. That's this metal ring you see here. Okay, so when you put it on, it has to go like that, not like that. Okay, then the next thing that you want to do, let's go ahead and remove this bobbin case and see how this is loose now that I've taken the spring out. This is the shuttle race back. Shuttle race back. Nice thick piece of strong steel made to help keep the shuttle inside the race. Okay? The race is just the area that the shuttle tick-tocks back and forth. Now again, you might want to take a picture of it as you remove it, but I just lay mine out with the side up that I'm going to be restoring, because you'll notice this is not equal. It's a little different. This comes up to a point that's shorter and a little flatter, than this point is longer and more narrow. See that? So I just put it like this to remember. Of course, as you clean it, you're going to move it around. Now let's see, I was hoping we could just pull the shuttle or the hook right out of here, but I think this retainer part is going to keep it in. Let's see. Oh, it'll come out. Okay. You can remove this part. That's where the well, it holds the top in, but that's also where your arm of your bobbin case locks into. Okay, and if you want to take that off for cleaning, it's just these two screws on the end and it comes right off. So there is what Singer called the shuttle on this model. And I said nowadays we refer to it as the hook. Okay, nice heavy. You see it says some staining here. I don't see any rust. There's some dirt impacted inside in these curves back here, but nothing real serious. And here is the hook point, or the shuttle point right there, that snags the needle thread, you know, and takes it down to wrap it around the bobbin thread. This post is what the bobbin case locks onto. When you hear that little snap, it's a little latch in there that locks in behind the ball point of that post, and that's what keeps your bobbin case. I don't know if we'll be able to see that. Look to the sides there. Try and hold it real still here. Can you see this little hooks here and here retracting when you pull that latch lever in the front? So when you pull on that latch lever and keep it open, it grabs onto the bobbin, so the bobbin won't fall out until you release the latch. Okay? And when you put your bobbin in here and then pull the latch lever back, it holds the bobbin while you put that on the post. I'll do it sideways so you can see it. As you put that on the post, once you get it onto the post, you can let go of the latch and then line it up with this arm holder right there, and it'll snap in. See, and that keeps it from spinning. Okay, so I'm just going to clean these up. You can brush them off if that's all you want. You can put a little oil on a cloth and rub off any dust and dirt if you want. I just give them a quick spray and wipe down with my crud cutter, and then dry them with a hair dryer, and then I'll just put a drop of oil and just do a finger rub to put a light coat of oil on them. So let me clean them up and then we'll put it back in real quick. When you have the shuttle or the hook out like this, that does make it easier to clean off any lint and dust and dirt build up, and you can brush it, or you know, if you prefer air hose type of thing or vacuum brush, you can get it brushed out and cleaned up. And how often you care to do this is really going to be dependent on you, how much you sew and the kind of fabrics and stuff that you sew. But when you want to put it back together, you're still going to have your needle all the way up. I know I have the needle and out everything, but the hinge stud for the needle bar connecting link, I know when the needle's up all the way, it's up at 12 o'clock. So that's the position, just like when you took parts out, you want it to be in that position to put them back in. And we're going to start with the shuttle or the hook, and point down to the bottom and get it up in there under the retainer. Okay, see how nice it fits right there. See it move back and forth now as I would move the arm shaft. Okay, then we want to put the shuttle race back on, and you remember the longer, pointier part of it goes to the right compared to the shorter, wider piece. And you may have noticed, I don't think I talked about this taking it off, you see these two holes drilled through the shuttle race back. They go on these two pins here that are in the housing, and that's what keeps that in place. So we're going to want to carefully work that up in there until it's seated completely on those two pins right there. We'll check our thumb screw to be sure that it's not blocked by the race back, and it's not. Okay, so we've got everything in position. We'll put the spring on there so that the two holes line up, and then we'll put this thumb screw back in, and we'll get these two leading edges up here flat onto the race back. So you've got the spring sits flat up here at the top onto the race back. Okay, and we'll just snug it up, and you see how it flexes a little bit. See how you can push it side to side. So I know that it's flat and those little tabs are around the sides, so that's where I want to tighten it up. And I think you just tighten it as well as you can with your fingers until it does not flex back and forth like that. Okay? And if you need to use a screwdriver or a wrench to achieve that, go ahead. So I've managed to tighten it with my fingers enough that it doesn't flex, it doesn't wiggle around. Okay? And then I'm going to just rotate, make sure that it oscillates properly, it's not hitting anything. Then put my needle all the way up again, so that hook point, right, is down here at the bottom. Okay, then I talked about the bobbin and the bobbin case a little bit, and you know, you can put a drop of oil occasionally on this little latch, but really if you keep it clean, you won't need to do that. Once in a year, just you know, put it in soapy water or crud cutter, soak it for a minute and brush it with a toothbrush or something like that, and just make sure you don't have crud built up in there. And let the latch go. See how that will come right out? See? So when we open the lever or pull open the lever, now those little mechanisms are hooking on to the inside edge of the bobbin, and it's not going to fall out. Because normally you're reaching down through the top and you're putting it on that post, and you're lining the finger of the case up and then let that latch go. Now you're on there. And that's why when you go to remove it, if you hold on to the latch, that'll keep your bobbin from falling out. See? So get it started on that post. You can let the latch go then, line it up, and then it should snap into place like that. Okay? And then I'll show you one more. I can walk this back a little bit here. Oop. See if I can get down on this a little bit better. And show you again this. And sometimes these will get bent down. If you look at it, see the space on this one? And if you look at this side, it's a lot closer. Okay? So this one has been bent a little bit. If it was causing a problem, you can remove these two screws and take the spring off and hold the center with a plier and take another plier and just bend it back a little bit to get that curve back in there. I think it's okay. As I go farther into this restoration, I may go ahead and do that, but we'll see. I didn't clean this because I'm going to be taking it off again, doing some more cleaning. But also, if you like, you can put a drop of oil on that. You see that silver edge? That's the recessed area where the slide plate slides. Okay. And you can also put the oil with your fingertip on the bottom of the side plate if you have it off. Okay, but you don't want so much oil that you're staining your fabric, you know. But to have a little bit on there is okay. Drop this side down. See how it's below now, and straighten it up a little bit to catch the spring over here. Lift them up, and now it'll fall into these two the recessed tracks. Okay. And if this feels too loose to you, like I said, you can take the spring off and bend the tips a little bit. You don't have to do it a lot. But to me, just taking it off makes it easier to do all that stuff on the shuttle or the hook. But let me set it back up here and show you. If you did have a means to tilt it up like this, and see, you could do that without even removing the slide plate. You have room to take out these parts if you want, and even take off the arm retainer and stuff like that if you want, you know. I kind of did it for filming more than anything. So that's removing and replacing the shuttle or hook on a Singer model 1591. Pretty easy, huh? You can do that. Thanks for tuning in again to my channel. I appreciate your patronage, and I hope you will come back when you can and visit me. In the meantime, take care of yourselves, okay?